Hello, good morning, and happy Friday. It is good to be here and recording videos for Axum. Sitsu, hello. All right. So where's my mouse? My mouse is on a wrong computer. That's why. I am looking forward to. I guess we're starting into the meat of it now, which is the Hello World for the Axum server. Han Sohai, hello. Good morning. Well, I mean, good morning on my side. It might be afternoon, evening, whatever for you, but hello. So, create a hello world for an Axum server. I think night for you. Okay, so you're on the opposite side of the world for us. I am in Denver, Colorado. Or I guess Denver, Colorado, United States. I am a software developer here. Although I don't use Rust professionally, I've been using Rust sort of here on stream for a while now. And my voice is sounding a little bit odd to me. I think it's because I didn't get that much sleep last night, which is surprised that I have like this much energy this morning. Probably because I didn't get that much sleep. A weird thing. I'll be really tired later. I had to do a huge cleaning of the place because we're having like carpet cleaners or other people coming in today. So that's fun. Glad to get that over with. Okay, so creating a Hello World Axum server. So I think the biggest things for this would be I want obviously spinning up a new app. So spin up new app, install Axum. Okay, one thing I want to check right now is cargo edit now part of Rust? Like I saw a note that they were gonna make it so you can just do cargo add, but I've always had cargo edit installed. It is? Oh, nice. Also, hello Togglebit. Okay, so I can just do cargo add now. Okay, so install Axum. Um, what else do we need for that? Uh, we should also put in a section here for, let's see, create the hello, spin up new app. We should go like find Axum documentation. So you know where to go find like just the website for it. Although they don't really have a website, which is really surprising for Axum. We go here, we have the GitHub, we have the docs.rs, and then we have like an announcing blog, and that's it. That's all we've got. So, and then if I go to GitHub, it just sends me here. So it's not really that different. Okay, so what am I looking? I guess Hello World would be something like this. So finding the documentation. Okay, great. Maybe I'll go there through crates. I can go there through crates.io, find Axum, find the Hello World. We could then install Axum. We have to install Tokyo too, don't we? I kind of forget exactly what we need Tokyo wise. Looks like we're using Tokyo with macros and RT multi-thread. Okay, so this will be good to have too. So spin up a new app. You know what I want to do? I want to put this in stickies. So we want, oh, come on. There we go. So spin up new app, um, find Axum docs. We want to install Axum. We need to install Tokyo. Okay, so with install Tokyo, we also need um Axum is the underrated one compared to like Actix and Rocket. This is the first time you've heard about Axum actually, but you don't do that much Rust. It's been making the rounds very recently. It's like the new kid on the block compared to both Actix and Rocket. I would say that it has the same sort of nicety that you get from Rocket, but it's also got a much more clear development path and support path than Rocket does. There's been a lot of there's been a lot of concerns in the community about the viability in sort of more professional projects with Rocket because the maintainer just sometimes takes time off and then isn't available to like merge in pull requests. And um, I know it's like the one of the things that people always say about open source project. Well, somebody can just fork it and then put something out there, but then it's absolutely a new thing, and you have like the if you're working at a company, that's a really scary thing to do is just switch over and say, well, we're gonna switch away from Rocket and do like Rocket 2 or something like that. ActX has been very updated and is still very 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 good. Um, I would probably like look at that as well. I really like Axum. I just like the way it feels. And I've used them. I've used both Actix and Axum and Rocket now, and just I like Axum. So that's the reason why I'm doing a course on it. One day I'll probably do a course on both Actix and Axum. Like a more like a once I have an LMS with the ability to do check for understandings, I'll probably just do both Actix and Axum. Okay, so install Tokyo, and then we with uh, okay, so macros and RT multi-thread. Okay, so I don't really need this stuff here. We're gonna be using the stickies to try to track that. Okay, so we install Tokyo macros, RT multithread. We then, I guess, like we have to create a router. We have to follow, we have to follow this. But basically, we're going to create a router. I want to create a handler. Okay, so be there, be here. Okay, so create router, create handler. What else do I need? Oh, and then actually just serve it up. So serve up, and then test with Thunder. I just did this yesterday, and I now forgot the name. Thunder Client. That's what it is. Thunder Client. Okay, so I want you to float on top. I can move you over here. Um, it would be nice if also I'm gonna have my other browser open up to Axum documentation, so I can just have that Hello World that they have there. Some and there we go. Okay. I do find it very interesting um, that we haven't had too many people start complaining about the number of like new libraries, new crates coming out with Rust yet, because we there definitely is that in the JavaScript and front end ecosystem. It's like, oh, another front end framework, another back end framework. Oh, the world is ending. Why do we even bother doing this? I'm gonna go become a goat farmer. Something like that all the time. And we're like, I've been watching like the number of game frameworks, the number of front end frameworks, and we're getting some back end frameworks or full stack frameworks. They're coming out all the time for Rust, but I think in the end, all you really need to do is learn one. Learn the basics of like how they work in general, learn Rust itself, and you can switch back and forth between these relatively easily, because the general idea of a router and you know handling routes and connecting to a database, they're all the same across all of them. It's just little syntax things that are different. Okay, so you'll stay here, and I want to put this. Okay, so we have set up. Oh, I have like lessons in the front end. Oh, I have lessons in the front end. No, wait. Okay, I have lessons, project solution. Okay, so I want to do lesson stuff in here. So under Axum, in lessons, we're going to add in a new. Let's just create a new folder for this. And we're going to call this Hello World. I'm going to add that in here. Okay, so I'm in sales, full stack course, backend, Rust Axum, lessons, hello world. Okay, so you go here. I don't need you. And I'm gonna keep you up just because I'm lazy. But this way I can, like last time when I was doing these recordings for the front end, I was just opening multiple instances of VS Code, and it was getting a little bit overwhelming. Now I can use. I'm gonna play around with using a workspace to just open up the appropriate folders, and that's all we have. Okay, so we're creating a Hello World server in Axum. Let's also reset Thunder Client. Yes, clear all the activities. We can do a new request easily. There we go. Okay, so what's the chance that the first recording of the day is actually good? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Um, oh, and then let's reset you to go to, let's go to Google. That's fine. Okay, I think everything is good now. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I've got no music going on. I've got the full screen thing going on. So I think I'm about ready to go. What I do when I do these videos, I generally don't respond to chat. So if you have any questions or anything else, go ahead and ask them. I will try to incorporate them into the video itself without necessarily directly responding to chat. But if I can't, then as soon as the video is done, I'll then respond to all the chat messages that I missed. These are supposed to be very short videos, so I don't expect them to last over 15 minutes or so, but they get longer over time as we go into like, more complex or more complex things. Okay, so creating a Hello World server in Rust. Let's close you down. We'll have you open here. Oh, and I can open you here too. Here we go. All right, and now on for our first real coding lesson for the Introduction to Axum course. We're going to be creating the Hello World for an API, which is really just on a GET request, send back the text Hello World and a 200 response. So first of all, well, we need to get started. I have an empty folder, but there's absolutely nothing in here. So first of all, let's just create a brand new Rust application because that's the basis that we're going to start this on. So we're going to do a cargo. Now I already have a folder for this, so I'm going to do cargo init, which creates a binary package. And now we have access to main.rs. If I did cargo run, we get our hello world here. Although this isn't the hello world that I was really thinking of. So next, we need to go find Axum to then install it. Let's head over to our browser. I'm going to go to crates and search for Axum. I do recommend that you search crates just for the direct name, just to make sure that you're getting the correct one. There have been some name squatting sort of packages, and it would we haven't gotten the problem yet, but I foresee that we will have a problem where eventually some bad actors will sit on like Axum R or some misspelling of it and then potentially do bad things to our systems. So this is what we want. This is Axum. It is from Tokyo RS, which is exactly what we're looking for. So Tokyo RS core. All right. So now I could just copy this and put this into the creates.toml file, but there's a better way of doing that if you have the latest version of Rust now. Now we can come to our terminal, make sure that we're in the same folder where the cargo.toml is, and we can just do cargo add Axum. And it adds it to its list of dependencies. If we take a look at cargo.toml now, it actually has Axum. It puts the latest version in there. But on top of it, it also shows us what are the possible features for us to use. So in this case, we don't really need any of these features here. However, we are going to want Tokyo. We're going to need Tokyo to sort of work with Axum together. They're made by the same team and they're made to work together. So let's go ahead and search for Tokyo just to make sure we get the spelling correctly. So it is with an I-O. And it's from the same owners. So we're going to do a cargo add Tokyo. Now this has two features that we're going to be really interested in. We're interested in the macros feature, and we're interested in RT multi-thread. Both those are going to sort of be used behind the scenes by Axum as we're trying to use Axum Tokyo for this. So to add in a feature now, we're just going to hit up arrow here so we just get that last command, and I'm going to use a -F and then put in the name of the feature that I'm looking for. So macros, then another -F, and I'm just going to copy paste this RT multi-thread here. Now it shows macros and RT multithread. If I close the terminal, it's brought in the features for me. This is my new favorite way of installing packages or modules or crates. And it's the favorite way of sort of checking what the features are and adding those to. All right. So we've got those. Let's now spin up and actually create our server. Okay, so if we were to look at the documentation here, let's actually go into the docs. Oh, this is Tokyo docs. I want Axum docs. In the Axum docs, there is a hello world that they recommend here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand code this in, and I highly recommend that when you're sort of learning and trying to get, sort of like internalize a lot of this code, you just type everything in instead of copy paste. That's what I'm going to do myself. I have this code open in another window. So let's head on over here. Okay, so first off, in main, it wants us to mark main as like a Tokyo main, and then we can have main be async. Now we can do that because we pulled in Tokyo with the macros. We're going to do Tokyo main. Okay, now it's yelling at us that we don't have the async keyword. Okay, let's pull in async for that. Okay, you're happy. We don't need this hello world here. We need to create a new router though. To create the new router, I do notice, well, let's create this, then we can refactor it a little bit. So do let our app equals our router new. We're going to create a route and then where this route is going to be. So this is going to be like localhost port, whatever it is, then just the slash. That's it. Now we have the route handler. So we're going to do a get, pull that in from Axum routing. And we have a closure here that takes in an async block. We're gonna just say return from hello world. Semicolon that. Now we need to start our server. I'm gonna do Axum server bind. Okay, so we get to choose where exactly it's going. So we could do something like 127.0.0.1. That's certainly an option. I do like what they suggest here, which is the zeros. So 0, 0, 0, 0. This will make it compatible with Docker containers and virtual machines to sort of go outside of it. Then we're going to parse this and unwrap you in the case that it fails. Then we're going to serve it, app into make service. We have to await this and unwrap. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. First of all, router new. You don't know what this is, so that's import router. You don't know what this parse is. Now, I noticed that I missed a couple things. First of all, you need a reference here. That makes you happy, but I also need to tell it what port to be on. So let's do the 3000, just like they suggest. I don't think I have anything running on that server. All right, well, this is going to work. Let's go ahead and run this. It's going to open up our terminal. I'm going to do a cargo run just like any other application. That's going to work. It's going to compile everything. and then it just sort of sits there. But that's fine. That actually means that it's working. If I open up Thunder Client, we can do a new request. We're going to do a get to localhost port 3000. That's it. If I hit send, we get our hello world. Okay. Now, before I sort of close this off, I want to do a little bit of refactoring to then show you what parts we can sort of pull out and what these really mean. Specifically around this get and this closure here, because we don't want to write all of our routing logic inside of a manual closure like this. Let's go ahead and create an async function. We'll call this like hello world. We don't need to take anything in. And we need to return maybe a string. And we're going to return, maybe we need to return like a static string. Let's do our hello world. I'll do a few extra exclamation points. We'll do to owned. It's never used now. So what I can do is inside of this get, I'm going to put a reference to that hello world. I'm not going to use the parentheses for this. So when I hit save, everything is still working. Rust Analyzer is not complaining to us. And when I hit, we have to recompile and restart here. That's fine. If I hit the new request again, I now get this new hello world. So if you want complicated logic, we can use a separated function. It does have to be async. It can return whatever data type that we're planning on returning. This specifically returns a 200. We'll go over later how to return different HTTP status codes. And then just basically whatever we're going to return, in this case, a string. And we put that in here without the parentheses. If you put the parentheses in here, you're going to get an error, and it's going to look a little bit weird and not necessarily tell you exactly what's going on. So that's really important. And then we have our server running here. And every time you make a change, you have to restart your server. This is very similar to other languages and other backend frameworks where we have to constantly restart. All right. Well, anyways, that is creating a hello world in Rust. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. All right, and that was that recording. Let's also label that one. I don't think that was too bad. Okay, so this is hello world Axum. Okay, what I've been liking to do with this is close off all of these and then make a commit. Okay, so you are, what do we do here? We created, I guess, like the world and Axum. I'll go ahead and push that up. I don't really need to push it up. Okay, so we're done with Hello World, so I can now remove this from the workspace. Head back to our, not that README. I want database backend, Rust, Axum, this README. You are done. Okay. I'm going to do the using the course repo later. So that's sort of like the last thing here. Oh, you know what? I probably want to do another lesson on using cargo watch. So cargo watch to like auto restart the server. Auto restart the server when making changes. That could be the title for it. So cargo watch to cargo watch. Yeah, this is it. Watches over for source code changes, and we're gonna then do this cargo watch dash x and then run essentially. If you haven't used this, cargo watch is an amazing command. I highly recommend it. If you're coming from Node, it's exactly like NodeMon. So in that case, you know what? I probably do want to pull Hello World back in. We'll just use that one again. Oh, you're starting over from the beginning again. No, wrong one. That one, backend, Axum, Hello World. There we go. All right. I've already got it installed, but I think I can install it again without any problems. So all right, I'm gonna do a quick lesson on this now. I'm gonna always start from this. Okay. All right, here we go. Before we go on to the rest of the main, the rest of the main. What? No, that's bad. Hold on. Let's try that again. That was terrible. Surprised that didn't happen in the first one. Take two. Before we get into the rest of the recordings for the videos, I want to go over a really cool project that allows us to watch the source code and auto restart the server. That way we don't have to constantly remember to come back into the terminal, hit Control C, and then up arrow and return again to constantly run cargo run with our Axum server every single time we make a change to test it. And if you're coming from Node.js and maybe something with Express or some other API there, you might be used to using something like NodeMon, which will do that for you. This is exactly the same. So the project we're going to be using is something called Cargo Watch. If we head over to crates.io, we can search for Cargo Watch, and it should be the first item on the list here. Cargo Watch is a global install and allows us to run Cargo Space Watch and then just something with it. So let's go ahead and install this globally. Now to install globally, we just do Cargo Space Install. So this is different than the Cargo Add that we did previously. So Cargo Install Cargo Watch. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that into my terminal here. So as I mentioned, this is going to install globally for my user here. Once this is installed, I should be able to now do Cargo Space Watch. So it's sort of like a command that's been added to Cargo behind the scenes. All right. So I'm here in the root of our directory. This is where I would be able to say cargo run. We're going to do cargo watch. Let's do a -h to sort of see the help here. And I want to execute a command whenever there are any changes. Now, I can use -x or -s for this. The big difference here is that we have exec or shell. Now, if it's an S, that's going to run any command whatsoever. If it's an X, it's going to run a command after automatically running cargo before then. So if we want to run something like cargo run, we would do cargo watch -x run. Let's try it. Cargo watch -x run. It compiles and it changed our, it's now running hello world. Okay, let's go into our hello world here. Make a change. Let's actually say instead of this route, I want hello, hello as the route. So if I hit save, it detects that change, it recompiles. If I come back over to Thunder Client and I try to run this, 404 not found. We actually have to now go to hello for me to see that. So that's how we can now watch any changes. I'm going to be using cargo watch so that way I can consistently save, check things, and not have to constantly remember to hit that. That's actually been a cause of problems in the past where I forget to rerun the server and then wonder, why isn't anything working? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Bacon is cool too. I have not heard of bacon. Before we do that, let me rename the file. So, cargo watch. Okay. With you, I don't actually need you. I'm going to revert your changes. You, however, there you go with that. Okay. I might just leave this up. Can I actually pin these now? Oh, I can. Nice. Okay, so a couple things. Bacon is cool for watching too. It lets you interactively change from checking to testing to running and back. Oh, that sounds really cool. Haven't heard of bacon before. Bacon. It's designed for minimal interaction, so you can just let it be running inside your editor and be notified of warnings and errors in your REST code. Okay, nice. Check the current project. I guess like I feel that I sometimes get a lot of what this is trying to this is saying it's going to get from Rust Analyzer, but maybe not. Maybe it gives me something more too. It certainly seems interesting to look at. I'm probably not going to use it for this run through, like this this go through though. Bacon tastes good. It does taste good. The error message in VS Code is a bit annoying in the video. Yeah, okay. Annoying is the wrong word. Is grabbing your attention. Yes. Yeah, this is the first time I'm using the this new extension, which is the error lens, which puts it in like just right in there. I wonder if I can make it slightly less bright. I mean, it's nice. I could also, I wonder if I slow down, it would be better. And then just sort of bring attention to it and then bring attention off of it. That might be good. You have friends who like space science. What events are there in Denver? There's we have like a natural history museum. But I've actually not been to many of these things. So like we have a natural history museum. I've never been to it. We have art stuff. I don't know if we have any good space science things here. Like so Denver's not really known for space stuff. Like there's no like NASA um sort of like facilities here. There is a there is an aeronautics, I think Boeing is close, maybe. Is it Boeing or is it one of the others? I can't remember anymore. They're like kind of sort of close, but I don't know if they're doing anything space related. So I don't actually don't know. It's a good question. Bacon with cold water makes bacon taste even better. I don't know if I've tried that. An interesting idea, Chantilly. Is the art edible? No. The art is not edible. In check mode, it's about the same that Rust Analyzer gives you. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I use Rust Analyzer. I like it just sort of being in my face right there. So that's nice. All right, well, I'm gonna keep Rest Analyzer for a little bit of while, and we'll see if people complain about it too much. I'm gonna be putting these videos up probably this weekend or so, at least the first ones, and so maybe we can get some feedback, and I can do some quick changes for future videos in the case that everything is terrible. Okay, so we like that. That's essentially all of Hello World. Next up will be routing. So creating a router to handle HTTP methods. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into the router and the different HTTP methods that we can do. I'll probably also have this time to refactor. So in here, let's do a new folder. This is HTTP. I guess like handle HTTP methods. Create extractor to get a string from the body, to get JSON from the body. Okay, so let's do. I wonder if I want to build on this. So like instead of sort of like a unit almost, where I create one little app here for routing, and then we just sort of begin, and then through the rest of here, it's just like a single app. I kind of like the idea of that. So then handling HTTP methods is also going to be where to like good places to put the router and good places like how to put the handlers in different files and folders. I kind of like that a lot. Okay, so let's create a new folder, and I'm going to put that routing. And we're going to start with handling HTTP methods. I could probably start with this view to sort of show where we are and explain that this is where it's happening. But I do want to open. Okay, so close you off. Okay, so open you up here. I can probably create the exact same hello world that we did. So let's just go ahead and do that really quickly outside of the video. Okay, so cargo init. Cargo add Axum. Tokyo with those two features. I want cargo watch X run. Okay, so we could start with the same sort of like set up the router here too. So this is what? Tokyo main? Shouldn't this be yelling at me? Did I do this wrong? I would this is supposed to be yelling at me, right? Um Tokyo main. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Kind of surprised that you're just okay with this. I would expect I'm should be getting an error because I don't have the async thing on it. There we go. Async function main. Okay, so we create the app first, so that app equals, I think it's router new route. Okay, so path slash service. I'll just do the closure version here. Do I think was it async here or was it async here? I think it was. I forget now. Oh, it's the get thing. I keep on forgetting to use that. It always gives me errors. We're doing a get. Use that handler async block in u, which returns hello world. You're upset. Type annotations. Did I miss that? Router new route. Get that app. Oh, maybe it doesn't know what it is until I run it. Goes away. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what happens. Let's see. Then Axum server bind to reference to 0, port 3000. Parse unwrap you serve. See, this one it knows how to autocomplete that. It didn't do that last time. Do that. Okay, so you should be happy. So back to ThunderClan. Hit you. There we go. Hello world. Excellent. Okay, so this is going to be our starting point. The plan is I want to show off the different types of HTTP methods that we can do here. We're not going to necessarily take in any data for it, but we're going to match what we can do here. So like get, post, put, delete, patch. Head options and prop find are not normal ones. So I'm not going to cover those, but these other ones are really important. I'm also going to cover where to put these. So personally, I like having my route definitions in their own folder. And then potentially a router. And I kind of am happy with the way I set it up with the solution project, where I had a module with the routes inside, and then pulled in these functions. I kind of like that a lot. So that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, let's see if we can do that. This will probably be the last one of today. We'll see how much time we have. All right, here we go. No, or not. I forgot that I have a window on top, so it took over the command, so it didn't actually start the recording. I need to be on OBS to have that keyboard shortcut work. Okay, let's try it. Should probably think about like how to introduce this. Talk about like the router and breaking out the routes into different sections. We're going to talk about the routes, and we're going to talk about the different HTTP methods. There we go. Here we go. All right, let's get into routing. Specifically, I want to talk about how we can organize our routes to be in maybe a little bit better than just sitting here in the main file. And then also we can go over how we can run the different HTTP methods, because there's a lot more than GET, and any API needs to handle, well, a lot of them. So first off, how do we organize this? Well, I really don't like putting a lot of logic into main if it can be helped. I like using a main library and then a folder structure for everything else. So I'm going to start off by creating a new library here. And I'm actually going to put the Axum server bind inside of there. And so we're going to basically be running a run command from the library. So let's have now this has to be async because there is an await inside of this. So we need an async. All right, so already we're getting these errors, but this happens when we're in the middle of writing this. So async function, I'm usually just call this run, or it could be app maybe. I don't necessarily need to return anything. I'm going to put this entire block inside. Now, this is yelling at us because we need this app here, okay? So come back, grab the app next. We'll need to resolve all of these by importing the router. We need to import this specific get. So let's do that now. This is not going to be the final place for the handlers, though. I'm going to put this somewhere else as well. Now the only thing it's yelling about us is the fact that we're not running run. That's what we're going to do over here in main. So I'm going to put run here. It sometimes can find it for me. Sometimes it can't. So to reach into the library, oh, you know what? I need to make this public. Let's try this again. Now that you're public, if I type run, you cannot find this. Let's go into cargo.toml. The name of this lesson is routing. So if I come into here, I should be able to use routing run. Wait, the library. I don't need to be in the library. I need to be in main. Use routing run. And that allows me to now use run here, and then I want to await. I don't need any unwrap or anything because I'm not returning a result from this run function. Okay, back to you. Failed to resolve. I need to pull in the router. I think I pulled them in, but then accidentally deleted them. So we need to pull those in again. You're happy here. And I am running the backend still. I have the cargo watch automatically on. Let's go ahead and double check this. Okay, we're still good. Okay, so now I want to continue refactoring this, because having the router here is okay, but I kind of like having the router be a little bit separate. And then I definitely like having the handlers have a place of their own, or at least like to be able to logically group them together with whatever I'm doing. So basically, handlers based upon like if I'm manipulating users or tasks or something else. If it tasks, if it's a to-do application, for example. So I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to call this routing, probably routes. And inside of that, we're going to create a new file. I'm going to make that a mod.rs. That's going to allow me to, let's close this down. In the main lib, I like to do this above the uses. We're going to have a mod routes. And I want to put this essentially inside of there. So let's go ahead and it's not exactly the same because I still want the app part here. I really want to do the router new and have routes. Now, take you, cut you out. I noticed that your return type is router with a body. Okay, we'll figure out what the return type needs to be. Let's do a pub. I think this needs to be async too, but we'll find out. So pub function. This is run routers or like create routes. Create routes. I don't necessarily need to pass anything right now. I need to return something from it, but I don't know what. When I don't know what it is, I usually just use these parentheses for the return block, and then I'll get an error tell me exactly what it got, and then I can just change it to that. And I'm going to create this router new. I'm going to emit the semicolon so that it returns this. Let's pull in router, and we'll pull in this get. All right, mismatch types. It expected the parentheses, and it got a router found struct router with an unknown. So let's change that here. So type router. Okay, placeholder is not allowed. Now it had a body. So let's try that. Body there. Hey, now it's just complaining that it's never used. Let's head back into the main library and we'll now call this. So that was create routes. Creates this router. This is complaining that we're not using it. Just going to go ahead and get rid of you. And everything should still be fine. Let's go ahead and continue running this. Okay, we're still good. Now, I don't have to check because that cargo watch should still be running behind the scenes. But now I'm in here. Next up, I want to move my handlers to their own file inside of routes. So this is where I really like to combine them into like whatever makes sense. So I'm going to do new files in here for this. This is going to be the hello world, for example, hello world.rs. In mod, I'm going to mod hello world. And now we can create the function that is equivalent to this. So we're going to have, this needs to be pub async function. This doesn't take anything in. We need the name for it. So hello world. You're going to return that string. And we're just going to say hello world from a custom route, like from my own file. And let's own that. And head back into mod. And I want to use hello world, and then we're going to replace this handler from the get with a call to hello world without the parentheses. All right, everything should still be good. And if I run this, we get hello world from my own file. Okay, excellent. Now, What happens if we want different methods here? Well, it should be as simple as changing the type here. So if we take a look at Axum, use Axum routing, and then we see get here. If we take a look at here, we have delete for a delete method. We have patch, post, put, all of these that match what we see here in ThunderClient. So if I wanted to turn this into a post method, which right now we get a 405 method not allowed because we haven't set that up, I'm going to change you to going to add in post here, change you to a post. And if I now hit this, I get exactly the same response. So the handler doesn't need to know nor care about what type of HTTP method is being run on. That all comes down to the router here. Okay, so what about patch? So if I want patch, I'm going to let Rust Analyzer bring that in for me. Exactly the same thing. I can now get it a patch request to get the response. Okay, so does the order really matter here? Yes, it does. If I have exactly the same, if I have like different routes, and they sort of like share a path, and maybe we use some like path variables, which we'll get into later, they do kind of matter until we get to that point. I don't think it's necessary to worry about it. Just create the routes as you want here and define them all in this file. Anyways, that's what I have for this lesson. I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of these warnings. Going to leave it on the patch. No more warnings, no errors. I'm going to go ahead and commit this and send this on up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thank you for that, Kafka. I realized that right. I was like, oh yeah, did I put a pub on it in the library? That's probably why I can't see it. And I noticed that once you don't do that one time, Rust Analyzer kind of just forgets to even check again sometimes. So I have to go in top and manually pull that in. Also, I probably didn't really need to mention the entire order thing. We're going to get into that later. All right, let's commit these. We're all fine here. Oh, and I also want to... Okay, we're handling HTTP methods. Okay. Handling HTTP methods. Handling HTTP methods. Okay. All right, it's 8:10 for me, which I do have. So I have a day job, which does require me to not stream all day and do stuff. And it's a sprint day, which means lots of meetings. It's the end of the sprint, and planning for the next project, and all the next tickets and all that fun stuff. And I am the manager too, which means I am running those. I don't just get to show up and participate. So I usually run these my streams in the morning until 8:15 or so. I don't have enough time to do another recording. The receiving data in a post, we have to figure out and plan to get the extractor. I don't think we're going to do a custom extractor yet. I think that's going to be... I don't know if... I think we might have to do a custom extractor somewhere else. I'm not sure exactly where in this I want to put that. But just receiving data, like probably a string or something in it. Uh, yeah, I wonder where I'm gonna do this. Like, I guess just like get the raw body and then return that in a mirror. So create like a mirror API. That's usually what I've done in the past. I think that'll work too here. Anyways, we will be working on this coming Monday. I've been not streaming on the weekends to sort of keep them myself. I usually go on some nice long bike rides and basically just do take care of myself, make sure I don't burn out or lose my voice or something. So, anyways, thank you all for hanging out with me today. Um, I don't have anything else. Checking that. Okay. Yep, I'm good to go and end everything up. So, change music station. I don't even have music on. Do I? I could turn on. It's loud though because I've not been having music on while I'm streaming recently. I just during the introduction. So, anyways, my voice is music. Well, thank you, Steve. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your Friday. I hope you have a great weekend too. I'll be back Monday morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, to continue recording these. And with that, see you next time. Bye.